Good morning, my friends. How are you? Happy Friday after Thanksgiving. Ha! How about that? We got through a major holiday, like re-entering back into the world. I'm wondering how you're feeling. I want to tell you some thoughts that have gone through my mind. And this is for those of you who are just joining Rituals to Rise, which is the rituals that we do on a daily basis to help us rise in our profession and in our lives. And we follow on rituals an acronym. And so today is L for ritual. It equals learn. And what I want to talk about is what I learned this holiday season. This whole build up to a Thanksgiving dinner, the build up of getting together with family. And I have in my Lanigan family, I have 6 siblings, so there's 7 kids altogether. And there's about 33, 34 like nieces and nephews and kids, right? So that next generation is about 33 or 34. And now we have 3 great grandchildren. So it's a big family. And that party was Wednesday night. Now my sister Liz Adams had it. And I left that party feeling I entered it feeling like a little afraid, right? A little afraid to be in public. And I've talked about this before, like the stress of being, we were almost like in a cocoon in our own little safety net while the pandemic was going on, which was crazy because I don't know how about you, but I think so many people felt out of control. So here we are in this environment and hugging people and talking with people and just connecting and just really feeling the love. Just incredible. So many kids that went into the pandemic as like these 6th and 7th graders are now in high school, and they're doing these amazing things. And my children are all adults now, and it's just crazy. So there's that part. So I had the feels from there. And then on Thursday we pivot to the McGregor side of the family, where they're from 6 children and just about as many nieces and nephews. And again, a very, very close knit family. And in the past, so I want to talk about the dining table after, right? I want to get there. So anyway, same kind of thing. Now I missed you guys on Wednesday because I actually went and picked up my nephew Brendan, Byron, from the airport at 7 a.m. So he came from Seattle for Thanksgiving, and it was the first time he had seen the family. So as we got together, all right, so that's the setting. 2 big families, lots of integration, lots of getting ready. Some moments that stood out to me, and I'm going to tie this back to real estate after. So when we're at the Thanksgiving table, and the McGregor side is a little less like the Lanigans. A lot of times will, like, there's like a sharing that goes on, what you're grateful for. Like a little, my husband says like the circle of death. No, not death, but like he just hates it. So anyway, so we're at the dining room table, and my mother-in-law gave a beautiful grace before we started. And there's a big, huge line of food, and we all brought things, and it was great. So we had my nephew from Seattle. My niece came from Pennsylvania, who has just gone through a kind of a life transition. My sister-in-law from New York was there, and then several of the people who lived nearby. So a lot of people. And we went around and just kind of said, like, what this year was different. Like, what are we thankful for this year? Now, my nephew, who I picked up, he got married this year, and he married a man from England, and they don't even live together yet. They haven't been able to figure that out, but they are committed to that. So he was here solo. And then my niece, who is in Pennsylvania, has just gone through breaking up an engagement. And so we've had some like big life moments that was sitting at the table. And we went through around and kind of just said, like, what this year has been your what are you grateful for? Like, because this has been a big year. And my other sister-in-law and brother-in-law, they just have had a new grandchild who has a little stuffy nose, and so they can't see him yet. And so there's this kind of like angst about this new baby that's here but not here. And anyway, as we went around, it was just really kind of different. Like, Brendan and Emma both said, like, one of the things they're so grateful for was the support in these big life decisions from afar, knowing that was still near, kind of thing. And my brother-in-law, who's pretty stoic, he was grateful for the health of the little baby boy, his grandchild, his grandson. And meanwhile, his granddaughter was like stealing the show because she's 3 years old and so precocious. So anyways, it was just really kind of cool to see like this, like almost like we're coming out of this and we're bruised, we're vulnerable, we're broken in some ways, and we're coming together and we're feeling grateful that even through this distance, we still felt like the family ties. And on my way in, I heard this song, and it's on my playlist, which is kind of funny because I have no playlist really, but and it was Gwyneth Paltrow's "Home" song, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard it, but it's just coming home, and I just love the song, and I always have. And again, for some reason, my playlist is playing, and again, I say playlist because it's songs that I threw in there, and it's just been like this really weird connection to the songs as they've been playing. All right, so that's like the Thanksgiving table and the party the night before, right? So lots of feels about just like re-engaging and just feeling like support and love and being able to like feel like we're not like doing this alone anymore, and then I thought about the relationships that had formed through the pandemic with our clients. And I don't know about you, but I had mentioned a few times that like I felt this bond with these people that I served in 2020. So the people I helped either sell or buy their house. And it was something that was really like they're really special to me. And even into 2021. And it's not the same as like the clients I had before the pandemic. And I realized it's because like they started substituting in for my family. So just the day-to-day family support things that you don't think about, like, of people that you're around. We were lucky enough to be able to still see people and be out in that pandemic and be practicing our jobs and connecting with people. And these connections during that time, I feel like they became our family. And now that our other family is back, it's like, all right, so let's make sure that we make room for relationships. And those relationships that we formed at a time that, people filled a spot, in what you like your needs and try to remember that as we move forward, because the thing that like stuck out to me the most as I was processing this all, and this all came from Gwyneth Paltrow singing her song to me this morning, was we have always probably been to our clients that person that's like family because we're helping them through such an important part of their lives. And because we're busy or whatever, like they kind of become that. But during the pandemic, they really did. And so it was almost like it was reciprocal, we really felt it. And as I come out of this, I want to remember those special feelings. And I want to remember how it felt to serve people during that time when we had this void in our lives because we were not physically seeing the people who are normally at our table, if you will. So I don't know. This is, again, various little crazy little thoughts in my brain. What about you? How was it for you to form, well, either reconnect or form like a new life based on your old life? Everyone says going back. I'm like, there's no going back. We're not going back to what we did before. We can't go back. So what is this new table of yours going to look like? And who's going to be at your table? And have you thought about who you want there and why? And can you make room at your table for these new relationships that came from your being physically away from your extended family, as we were? And is that what you want? And how do you want to come out of this and make that life be that life that you are looking for? Anyway, these are some of the things that we're going to be touching on. I have been in my brain, so that means that it's going to be on paper, right? So that's going to be on the computer. Is making sure that when I have the opportunity to help you learn, that I am bringing to you these thoughts that I think will help you with your business and with marrying your business in your personal life, because If the pandemic taught us nothing, it taught us that they are intertwined. All right, my friends, have an amazing weekend. If you're like anybody, well, anyone in my family, right? There's bodies on our couches, there's people around, there's extra dogs in the house, there's all sorts of fun, loving family events going on. And I just want you to maybe pause for a moment of mindful appreciation and think about as we move forward, like how everything's going to fit at your table now. All right, my friends, I so appreciate you. And I do, when I talk with you at different times and you say that, you know what, I catch you on videos in the middle of the day when I'm at my quietest, my brother-in-law from Maryland, John McGregor, he said to me, I watch your videos every day. And he's in Maryland. He's watching them from his phone at work or during break or something. And so I don't know, like I so appreciate you and thank you for showing up for me. Let's make it an amazing day and weekend.